Good morning.
I like that.
It is time to skip the BS. Time for Undisputed. Time for me to say, how about them Cowboys?
Really?
Oh, I'm about to be joined by Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn, who thought he had us cold last night. And we did it to him. We got him in the end. Michael and I are so happy this morning. And by the way, in a little while, you will hear from my guy, Richard Sherman, who did pick the Seahawks to beat the Cowboys, did all but take a victory lap at halftime last night on Amazon. I'm sure you saw it. And who does owe me yet another dinner.
Sir.
Look, I will be the first to admit, Cowboys got outplayed by the Seahawks last night at Jerry World. Geno Smith had a QBR, my favorite quarterback stat, of 91 to Dak's 75. I did not see that coming. I was sure wrong about that. Yet despite allowing 406 total yards, 35 points, despite allowing Seattle to go 9 of 14 on third down, my defense rose up and stopped the Seahawks on fourth downs that ended each of Seattle's last 3 possessions. Thank you, 11 from heaven. Cowboys 41 to 35. I will admit, I thought we were sunk early in the fourth quarter. I will admit I was often more depressed than impressed, but we fought back and we won. We have now won 14 straight at home. 14 straight. We are 9-3 with 10 days to get ready for those Eagles at Jerry World. I still love this team's chances of getting to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Here we go.
But enough about me, Michael Irvin. It is your turn. Scale of 1 to 10. How impressive do you think the Cowboys were last night?
Listen, I know we're supposed to be focused right here, but this dude over to my right over here.
Yeah, that dude.
It was, okay, let me tell you what I saw and how impressed I was. I'm going to put this too, Skip and Key, at a 10 for me. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And the harmony that runs within my spirit. Now, I sat here last week after what I saw in Philadelphia and Buffalo. I don't need all that stuff, man. What I saw in Philadelphia and Buffalo, and I gushed over Philly in the fight they had in that great game. This game was eerie similar to the Philly-Buffalo Bills game. It was, I was like, wow. You saw Josh Allen in that game go off. You saw Geno Smith in this game go off. And I wanted to see, I was like, oh my God, okay. I told you guys right here yesterday, I said, watch, these guys aren't going away easily. That's why I said, no way we're covering this big spread that everybody has given us. I said, DK Metcalf and Lockett, those guys were going to show up. Remember, Geno said I was healthy now, and he played incredible. When I saw that big fella sprint 75 yards early on, you know what I thought about, Skip? I thought about that Jerry Rice play. That looked just like Jerry Rice.
Exactly the play.
Like Jerry, I mean, Jerry, just right in. We're playing San Fran. Jerry comes right out and goes 80 yards. Boom. I said, what the mess? I run to Troy. I said, Troy, we got to get that back. Let's make it up right now. We go get an 80-yarder. Troy said, stop it, Michael. Calm down. You can't go 80 yards. We can go get 420s. Let's try that, you know. But the hype was there. I saw
you
that.
Actually
hype.
Lost that game. But
yes, we did.
Yes.
And perfect.
Yes.
And that's what I felt like was about to happen right there. You see? But what I say I felt last week with Philly, I said, man, I watched Philly. And I watched late in the game when the game was hard and it was fighting, battling back and forth. I said I had a peace watching Philly, like they were not going to lose that game. And I said, that's what I want with my Cowboys. The football gods must have listened because I was in that same situation, watching the Cowboys saying, oh, now where's my comfort level late in this game? And it wasn't quite as high as Philly, but it was nowhere near where it has been in the past with the Cowboys. In this situation, I felt differently. I felt comfortable, and I felt what I said Philly had with Jalen Hurts. I felt that with Dak Prescott. When I saw him playing and Dak throwing guys off him to make those plays, I said, oh, my God, that's what we're looking for. Y'all talking about MVP. That's how you get an MVP. When people start saying, oh, my God, that guy right there ain't gonna let them lose. Those kind of plays make you look at Dak Prescott and say, oh, he's not going to let them lose. He put down everything. He stopped thinking about everything. He talked about this after the game. He said, I have to start using my legs more to give this team the optimal chance to win. I was impressed like I was with Philly. I know they got a clash. Philly got to first take care of their business with San Francisco. But, boy, this is the perfect way to go into that game next week. For the Dallas Cowboys, they can't be any more ready than right now for Philly.
Woo. Preach. Your turn, anti-Cowboy.
First of all, I picked y'all yesterday.
Yeah,
okay?
Because you were afraid, but go ahead.
No, because it should have been an easier pick. I think we all went into this game, not all me, I think we all went into this game, including you, Skip, believing that the Cowboys would win. Richard Sherman's the only one because of his ties and roots for Seattle. He's supposed to pick Seattle.
And by the way, he said on Amazon before the game, I have inside information. Because he knows so many Seahawks. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so when you asked Michael a scale and he gave him a 10, all I could do is laugh inside. I couldn't even smile on camera because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You and I both know that was not a 10 performance by the Dallas Cowboys team. It was more like a 5, okay? It was more like a 5. You got a team coming into your stadium that in their last 4 games are 1-3. In their last 5 now, they're 1-4. You had a quarterback that had an elbow issue coming into the game. You already had some keys running back out. Their starting running back done, Kenneth Walker, out of the game.
Hey, man.
So they were shorthanded in a sense, but yet and still Geno Smith managed, and I heard Michael Irvin, who's sitting next to me, as he likes to say, talk about the Philadelphia Eagles in the Buffalo Bills game a week ago, and this reminded him so much of that. Oh, and Josh Allen and the things he did. Man, that was a B-level quarterback y'all was playing against with your Vantage defense. Josh Allen is an A-level quarterback. Okay, and was able to do what he was able to do. But that's a B-level quarterback that's good. But he shouldn't have done that throughout the course of the game. The Seahawks lost this game. The Cowboys did not win this game, although the win-loss column says they won. When you look at the entire game from front to back, the mistakes that was made by Pete Carroll and the coaching staff, you're at the 50-yard line and you're going for it on 4th and 1 instead of pinning Dak Prescott and company back, you give them a short field? I mean, like, come on. You went away from DK Metcalf, who torched Deron Bland in the first half. Cooked him.
By the way, it was 138 yards that Deron allowed just in the first half, and I think that's some kind of record for a half.
Yes, cooked him. And you went away from that in the second half. When you shouldn't have done those things. So Pete lost this game, in my opinion, and his coaching staff for them. And at the end of the game, there's no way that you leave Michael Parsons as an unblack guy, although Lawrence was the one that made the play. Because Lawrence realized I got a back coming from left to right, sniffed it out. If I'm designing the screen, I'm putting Dallas on the right-hand side, I'm allowing him to chip Micah Parsons, allow Micah Parsons to go get Geno Smith, dump it over his head for the screen, jailbreaking a 0 coverage. I don't know why they dialed it up, that protection, that way, and tried to slide the back from left to right. That is not what you're supposed to be doing when you're installing a screen in blitz 0. Geno looked up, and all of a sudden, Heaven from 11 was sitting in his lap. So when I look at it, I say, okay, here's an opportunity now for them to do something, to show me something, and Dallas Cowboys did. I'll give you that credit. In the end, Dak Prescott played championship-type football. What I've been asking him to do against a solid team, not the best team, but a solid team. He showed me enough to make me think, if he can play this way against Philly and Buffalo and everybody else, not only will he continue to stay in the MVP conversation, maybe the Cowboys are turning the corner just enough. But then here, the moment that comes out now, all of a sudden, I got a coach on the sideline and Mike McCarthy. Now the conversation is, should he run, should he throw? What should he do at that point in time with a minute and some change inside the red zone when another opponent has 0 timeouts? He elected to throw the football opposed to running it and running down the clock and leaving 35, 40 seconds on it. You give Geno Smith $140 and some change to try and go down the field. Again, B-level quarterback. If we had an A-level guy and you did this too, a la Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady of the past, maybe Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, some of those guys, you lose that football game. That's all I'm saying, Skip. Hats off to you. You got out of this one. Remember, this was a quiz, not a test. This was a quiz, an open book quiz for you guys. You almost failed an open book quiz.
He worked on that one all night last night.
Oh, I did work on that all night long, Michael. As I sat up and looked at the television.
One of the kids had a test. One had a quiz. One,
so you don't think you get ready to sit here and tell me that wasn't a quiz for y'all? That was a big test? Was it a quiz or a big test, and was it open book? Yes or no? That's all I asked you, Mr. Irvin.
It was a test. First, y'all said y'all wanted a team with a winning record.
There we go.
A team with a winning record. And you wanted to fight. You wanted to see the Cowboys come from behind. They came from behind.
They did it.
They gave you what you wanted. So that was the test you passed.
So, Keyshawn.
Yes, sir.
All your points are extremely valid.
Yeah, valid point.
I give you an A for your critique of my Dallas Cowboys. But Michael is dead on. Last night, our Cowboys pulled an Eagles because I've been sitting in this chair pounding my fist on the table about 4 straight Eagles games in which they got outgained by the opposition after trailing at halftime, and they pulled it out. How? I don't. The quarterback pulled it out. The defense made a play here or there. They pulled it out against Buffalo in overtime. Were they lucky? Yes. Was Dallas lucky last night? There are a couple of calls that even I thought as a Cowboy.
Me too, buddy.
Defender,
me too.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not pass interference, right? It was called
home cooking.
Yeah, okay, you can argue there was some of that going on. But you know what? In the end, my team did everything it had to do under fire with the odds stacked against it when I thought Geno was going to have the game of his life, and he actually did up to a point. But my team kept making play after fourth quarter play to pull that game out, and I'll take all those plays to my long-term bank because they will count down the stretch and they will count going into the postseason because my team would have lost that game last year. My team might have lost that game earlier this year. My team has found itself, and my team last night nearly overlooked a very dangerous opponent because my team clearly was looking ahead to Philadelphia. You can't tell me that in the backs of their minds, they're thinking, here comes the Eagle, here comes the Eagle. We're going to get them. We're going to get revenge. And you overlook a team with DK Metcalf and Lockett. And that kid from Ohio State can flat out, he can play. He's quick, he's strong, he's 200 pounds. He's hard to deal with. When Geno gets hot-handed, and from his first throw of the game, he was hot-handed. And if you let him get in a rhythm, let him get some confidence. His confidence is fragile, but he got cooking last night and nearly cooked us completely. And yet, really just the epitome of the game that was that Deron Bland got cooked in the first half, and yet he rose up and showed you some character and some football backbone, and he picked off Geno at an opportune time that I thought had swung the momentum back, and then right on schedule, we get the ball back, and CeeDee dropped a pass on 4th down. I thought we were going to take it home there. But here's the truth, Michael. Even though you were more right than I, way more right, because you said they will not cover, we actually got in a position where we got it down to 3rd and 3 at the 14-yard line late in the game. I thought we were going to go score a touchdown and cover the spread. That's how we flipped the script on that game in the fourth quarter by stopping them on 3 straight 4th downs. Hard to do, but we did it. When they have rolled up 406 yards, to stop them on 3 straight do-or-die plays is highly impressive to me. So quickly, you guys talk me through these. I want to show you a couple of plays here. Listen, Jake Ferguson is a football player. I don't care what you say. He's sneaky athletic, and he's underrated because he is a playmaker. And Dak said on Amazon last night after the game, he's gritty, but Dak made the key point. he's a little crazy. Dak's like, you're a little afraid of him. You guys played with guys like this where he's just a little off, but in a good way, where he just doesn't care. He's not afraid of anybody. And if I could show you an early play, Michael, I thought we were in trouble early in this game. This is after DK's 73-yarder. The next series, we're backed up 3rd and 16 at our 19-yard line. And I'm thinking, we might just get run out of our own building here. And guess what? Dak has to go to Jake Ferguson. If we could see this play, this is a crucial play to me because it stops the bleeding. He just flips it.
Man, make the tackle.
He says,
tackle the dude.
Listen, this guy is going to run you over.
Man, make the tackle, man.
He's going to run you over.
We call that brother-in-law. He taking a sidestep. Make the damn tackle. Look at it. Man, take it to it.
Boom, boom. He was coming in hard.
Make the tackle.
Coming in hard.
He played hard.
The Seahawks.
Oh, you played good.
Hey, the Seahawks were talking and talking and talking last night.
That's because Jamal Adams over there, too. Yeah. You know, Jamal Adams. You talk about Jamal Key. You know Jamal wanted to show out.
I'm sorry, Michael. Last night I watched the game, and I'm sitting there. You know how we are. We watch games, and we see everything. I sat there. I told my boy Meek, I said, this dude, I can't with Jamal. It was every single play. Every single play. Go ahead, Skip. I'm sorry.
I thought at one point when he got in Jake Ferguson's face, I thought Jamal got away with pot. He used it and popped him right in the face.
Jamal called me yesterday, and I'm telling you, I knew it was going to be that kind of game. I forgot to mention it on the show because I said Jamal's home. You know what I mean? And he was going to bring his boys to play because they had to show up for him in Dallas, and they did show up. I mean, they played.
Can we now flip the script and go clear to the end to the Jake Ferguson touchdown pass on Jamal? Because this is the throw of the game, the play of the game.
That's the play. That's the play.
He pushed off.
That's the play. But what a play by Jake. He went and got this ball.
Thank you.
He pushed off.
This is how you cover.
The go-ahead throw, a little pump and go.
He pushed the dude, Michael. And he did the Michael Irvin in Dallas.
Let him know about it.
Look, what do you mean?
That's
on Jamal, and he turned to him and let him know about it.
He pushed the dude right in front of the referee.
I said, what?
Skip, did he not push him?
It's Michael. It's vintage Michael. I'm not saying he's anywhere.
That was just a touch-in. He was just feeling for him. That's not a push. You don't see Jamal stumbling backwards.
You do see Jamal stumble. No, Jamal went 2 yards. Look at that, Michael. Come on, man.
That's his
But he scored the touchdown. They gave it to him. They didn't call it. I'm just saying. If they call that, as Skip would say, if they called that, we'd be talking about something different, Skip.
Okay, all right. So here's what happened. At the end of the half, I predicted this on Twitter. I said, if they get the ball back, they're going to go score, and they did. And all of a sudden, it's 21-20 Seahawks at halftime. They get the ball to start the second half, and once again, for the second straight time, they go 75 yards, this time in 10 plays.
Up by 8.
And Geno,
I don't
know if it was a quarterback draw or he just scrambled up the middle.
No,
I'm not sure.
Quarterback delayed draw.
It looked like it to me. It looked like it was called.
It was called.
In the play-by-play, it says he scrambled. But I just think, but anyway, when he scrambled for that touchdown, now it's 28-20. I will be the first to admit, on this play, I thought we were sunk because it just felt like they had seized control of this football game. And he's flipping it up in the air because they thought they had us. Keyshawn thought they had us.
Oh, I thought I had you. When you talk about this play, all you got to do is look at the receivers. And the receivers aren't looking for the ball, Skip. They're just kind of playing around. It lets you know right there. He played it perfect, though. He acted as if it was a pass. When he stepped back, he set his feet. He was calm. Bam, it opened up. Patience.
And to your point, Michael, Dak responds with 75 in 12 plays. And that cuts it to 28-27. That was an answer. That's a football team.
And that's what I was looking for.
We will not go away. And now let's go to the 3 times in the fourth quarter. Let's go to the first one. It's the DeMarcus Lawrence play that you talked about, Keyshawn. This is 4th and 1 at the 46. Yes. Yep. This is the turning point in the game because if they convert this, I just don't know if Dallas can win this game. And DeMarcus Lawrence jumps inside. You want to go, Key, about you were talking about?
Well, no, there was a screen that I was talking about, but this one, he jumps inside. 67 whiffed, though. He completely missed it based on the stunt down. DeMarcus Lawrence made a great play. I don't know that I would have called that, but that's just me. I would have probably punted in this situation.
Okay. So that's the backup running back. And by the way, Charbonnet got hurt on that play and went to the tent and didn't. So they were down to their third string back. I just thought on 4th and 1 they would let Geno flip it to somebody because we couldn't stop anybody, like on little short passes.
Yeah.
They just got open wherever they wanted to. Okay, so now let's go to the second one, which is 4th and 4 at the 49, the Seattle 49. And this is the one where it's just everybody's coming, and he just says, I got nothing here. I'm going to just throw it up for grabs, right? And he throws it up, and fortunately, Bland didn't catch it because you get the ball back.
It's the same play we watch. We watch Josh Allen. And Gabe Davis go through.
Just didn't run a
you got to get the ball up.
Why you just didn't run a slant? It's the middle of the field, wide open.
Yeah, because that's not the route you want against that kind of a pass rush. But it did. The pass rush had been fairly quiet all night, but they started to bring it when it was time to be brought. Okay, now let's go to the end of the game.
Bad combination.
This is the 4th and, at the very end, 4th and 2 at the 50.
Oh,
and
right there.
Micah, I'm tweeting, Micah, please. I just need one play. And that's a big time effort. I don't know. Nobody blocked
But to be honest with you, this really is not Micah. This is all about Lawrence here.
Yeah.
It's Micah because even though he's a free runner, all Geno does is dumps it to the back, and once the back flips and turns.
Yeah.
But DeMarcus Lawrence sniffed it out and saw it and then put his shoulder into him to disrupt it. It would have been a perfect play if they would have lined him up on the same side they was throwing the ball to instead of having him slide from left to right.
Okay.
You can't do that. There's no way because he's never going to get over there.
Never.
Excuses.
It's not excuses.
Okay.
It's
we made a play.
Anybody that knows anything about offense and design and understanding protections and play calling should be able to sit here and say, hey, why would you do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Why would you do that?
Okay, so Mike McCarthy said after the game that we needed a game like this to figure out, to be tested, to see if we can pull one out.
And I give you that. And that's why I said after I gave you everything, I said, look, in the end, Dak Prescott played championship football. CeeDee Lamb played championship football, except a couple times that it's disliked, the 4th down drop, also the touchdown laser throw in between two guys that went through his hands because he's
it would have been
peaking.
a really tough catch, but
no, it's not a tough catch.
No, but it's not an easy catch.
Man, that's a $30 million receiver.
You got to catch it. What do you mean? I got it.
They're not going to hit you.
But it's high traffic, and it was a rocket, and I got it.
And the guy flashed in front of him, but he should come up with this play.
Michael, people flash in front of us all the time when we do our drills. They put their hands.
That's the whole reason you do those.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
Other than that,
CD was with you. He said he'd come up with those plays.
And I know he could come up with those plays. I'm with you. And that's why I said in the situation against a B-level team with a winning record, you showed up. It's a quiz. Now you got the next test, then the next test, then the next test, then the final. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Accept it.
All right, I do accept it. You have to accept this. Very quietly last night, once again, guess what? Our Cowboys had 0 turnovers in that game. That's pretty good, right? You're under fire, and you're trying to come back from a Jerry Rice-type touchdown, and you press, and you turn it over, and you're dead.
Yeah, he didn't. And last night, Dak in particular didn't have any throws that you went, oh, God, he almost gave that away. The one on the one hand out that he just threw it out, that guy was never going to catch it. He just stuck his palm out there and batted it down. But he played well, man.
0 turnovers.
Played well.
They had 0 punts in this game.
And if y'all don't fix that right tackle Smith, you're going to be in trouble because all he does is gets penalties after penalties after penalties in games.
You mean the guard?
Did I say
You're talking about Tyler Smith?
The right tackle.
Terrence Steele.
Steele, my bad.
But so does Tyler Smith, who, by the way, his last year in college.
Smith. You confuse me. Tyler Smith.
Yeah, Tyler Smith, because his last year at Tulsa, he led the nation in penalties. He's a penalty maker. And you have to live with it because he is a dominator also.
He has
but he had a couple crucial penalties last night that could have cost you.
All right, let's move to the other game. The game that you can see right here on Fox, 4:25 Eastern this Sunday. 49ers.
Thought I had y'all, though.
Yeah, you almost had us. Will they beat the Eagles? I say yes. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.